believe in the system. They've seen the success, they've seen the result of having that mindset, and hopefully they'll stay committed to that.
How has the taste of the national championship impacted players and staff?
You know, I think that it just brings to fruition what Coach has been talking about. We believe every year there's about 8 to 10 teams that have a chance to play for a national championship, and we believe that for several years. And just having it all come together, I think brings about a hunger and a humility to us as well, because we understand that we got to that game, but we didn't finish it. And so the biggest thing in 2016 is to focus on finishing the job.
You mentioned Deshaun. You talk about him. When he goes in the season, what else does he have to do, I guess, to take that next step, or if he can even, progress even more than what he did last year? What do you expect from him going into the season?
I expect that Deshaun's going to be Deshaun, and the great thing about Deshaun is he's an unbelievable preparer. And he's very, very humble, and he's focusing on himself and being the best, not just winning a championship, but he wants to be the best quarterback that he can be. So I think you'll see a lot of the same things in terms of his preparation. And the biggest thing for him is just to be consistent, day in and day out, not to listen to what's going on outside the building or even within the building or people on campus, but just to focus on what's made him successful, and that's his humility, his attention to detail, and his willingness to go and put the work in.
How much more confident is he this year? Last year we were talking about that knee, coming back from the knee injury and not quite, maybe being 100% or him not feeling 100% to having a Heisman finalist type year. How much more confident does that make him going into this season?
I think going into last year there was no lack of confidence in his ability. I think it was more just the strength of the knee. You're making sure that he gets back out there and tested to see where it is. So I think you don't have that question this year. I think his confidence is going to be at an all-time high. The biggest thing is to make sure that confidence doesn't turn into conceit, stay humble, which I think he's going to do, and he showed that already this summer in the way he's handled himself.
Talking about Deshaun, and I'll kind of lump the other veterans in there, Jordan Leggett, Wayne Gallman. How challenging is it to manage those guys where you got horses there versus the new guys coming in? Because you want to get the veterans game ready, but you want to keep everybody healthy at the same time, especially at this point going into fall camp. How challenging is that for you as a coach to keep everyone on the same playing field?
I think it starts with Coach Sweeney and the way that he runs the program. There's no entitlement, that everybody understands that they got to work. And then we got a great coaching staff that's in tune with their guys. And so I'll rely a lot on the guys on offense to kind of manage their position and make sure that the guys get the work that they need, but then also they're in top form when we go into that first game of the season. But the biggest thing is understand that everybody's got to work. And last year's touchdowns and last year's success is not going to do anything in this season. We got to put the work in fall camp, prepare ourselves for a long season, and then go out and execute when we get our opportunity.
I know you guys prepare for every team the same way, but when you've got an opponent like Auburn at game one, what does that do for the process during the summer and the fall camp? Because it seems like it would make the urgency a little higher, knowing that you've got a traditional program like Auburn right out of the gate.
Right. You said it. I mean, we prepare for everybody the same. And really the biggest opponent that we're playing is Clemson. So the big focus this offseason has been us. And we go back and watch the championship game, there were things that we could do better. Obviously, you got to give Alabama credit. They won the game, but we feel like we're playing Clemson in every game that we go out this season. So the biggest challenge is not focusing necessarily on Auburn. It's what do we have to do as the Clemson Tigers to put ourselves in position to win.
Who's the most under the radar player